this to live chat. Okay, good evening, everyone. I do hope everyone is well today. I am crocheting rainbow swirl hats tonight and vlogging at the same time. So we shall see how it goes. No one's here yet, but it's only been a minute, so we got time. I know, I'm weirdly shadowy tonight. The power keeps blipping for some reason. So my lighting is weird. Remembered my tea? Yes, I remembered to bring down my tea. And then where'd my neck clip go? Oh, it's back there. Okay. Hello, welcome to the live. I do hope you are having a nice day. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. I am crocheting a rainbow swirl hat. This is what it'll look like when it's done. See how it kind of swirls out. I'm seeing how many of these I can make in one day and filming a vlog to go along with it. Thank you. I'm glad you think they're cute. This is hat number 3 I have made today. I'm currently working on because I had to run a bunch of errands today. So I didn't have as much time to just sit and crochet as I would have liked. But we're here now. Let's see how many, if we can get any more hats done on live. I want to get at least 4 done today. So this one is hat number 3, so we will finish it and get working on hat number 4. We're just putting the brim on right now. So let's see, got 4 rows to go, including the one I'm currently working on. So keep cracking at it. If you're enjoying this, don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live and hit the subscribe button. I have all sorts of different kinds of crochet content on my channel. I'm hoping to get some new kinds of stuff out in the future. Right now I'm doing a vlog every other Saturday and a live stream every Saturday. And as I continue to streamline my filming process and balance it with my day job, I'm hoping to start putting more kinds of things out more often. Like tutorials. Hi! Welcome to the live. Alright, we only got a couple more rows to finish on this hat, and then it will be done, and we can start on the next hat. Been live for about 10 minutes now. Chat is quiet tonight, though it usually starts off pretty quiet in here. Oops. Hate when I misfire like that. Back in business. Keep going. So how was everybody's day? Did y'all have a good Saturday? And we are done with this round. So 13, 14, 15, 16. 2 more rows to go, and then this hat will be done. And then we can start the next one. Right. Making good progress here. Wonder if my cats will make an appearance. They were all sleeping last I checked on them. They're having a hard time with all these thunderstorms we've been getting because they do not like thunderstorms. are done with this round. Ugh, pollen's got me itching. Done with this round, one left, and then this hat is done. Just finishing up this round of single crochet, and then the hat will be done. Well, I'll have to weave in the ends, but I won't bore y'all with that. We can do that later tonight after off camera. Gotta say, these going live every Saturday has been really helping keep me off my phone when I should be crocheting. All right, look down where it belongs. Scissors. And it is done. Pretty rainbow hat. That is all done. Now, to real quick grab out my phone stand because I am filming a vlog while live. So, oh wow, just got a bunch of new viewers. Hello, everybody. I've never had that many viewers at once before. Nice. Welcome to the party. Okay, this is how much I have left of this white, so we're going to set it aside for now. Ugh, got me all discombobulated here. Okay, I'm just setting up my phone really quick over here so we can film part of my vlog that I have. Sorry if the camera is shaking a bunch. Sorry if the lighting is weird. We're low budget here at Small Pine Crafts. Video, turn it. Third hat of the night is done. Also, we're live right now. And yes, I do the millennial pause. I'm old. All right. Quick drink of my tea, and then let's get started on the next hat. There we go. I've got a little cart over here. Turn that camera off. All right. Now for this, you need a bunch of stitch markers. I keep them all in a little glass jar. And where did I put the row counter? There did I put the row counter. I have ADHD. Just gonna zero that out because it can be hard to keep track of rows when you're doing a swirl pattern, especially with as many colors as I use for these rainbow hats. Usually they say don't use more than 4 colors for a swirl, but for these rainbow hats I use 6. I've got all my yarn lined up right here next to me, by the way. Got a whole pretty rainbow. Balance that there. Okay. My tablet is literally balancing, I think, because again, we're low budget here. All right, let's start hat number 4 for the vlog and get going. We're doing a magic circle. Single crochet, half double. Now we're gonna put some markers in because for swirls you gotta drop the working yarn and pick up another strand. It's kind of like knitting. Put that there. Okay. Next, orange. So we're gonna go into that circle. Pull up the slip knot. It doesn't really matter where on the magic circle it ends up because once I cinch it tight, the stitches go where I want them to. So we'll pull that. Single crochet, half double. Now pull it tight. Place a stitch marker. Honestly, setting up these swirl hats takes almost as much time as just the hat itself, it feels like. And I like to weave the ends in as I go because otherwise I'd have 12 ends to weave in and just string and yarn bits everywhere. So once I get about 3 rounds in, I start weaving in these ends. But here we go. This is a very vibrant yellow. Can't remember what it's called, but it's Premier Basics worsted. Not sponsored. Though I do have an affiliate link in the description if you want to make a purchase of Premier yarns. They released a new variegated colors yesterday, which has always been my, I'd say, one complaint about Premier Basics is the lack of variegated, because I love a good variegated yarn. I love chaos. Another stitch marker. Set up of rainbow hats is annoying. Okay, just 2 more colors to go. Blue. Really got to fix my posture. It's been ruining me lately. Put it where it belongs. Put it where it belongs. Blue. Last but not least, and my favorite color, purple. Hello. Sorry, my cup that's holding my stitch markers was blocking chat. So chat's quiet tonight. Everyone must be busy. That's okay. I am crocheting a rainbow swirl hat. Just give me a second to cinch this tight, and I can show you one that's already done. We're making these tonight. These really cool 6-color swirl rainbow hats. And we got the start of it. We've started off another one, and yes, it's a lot of strands of yarn to keep track of. Don't ask me how I do it, I just do. Thank you. I'm glad you think they're cool. All right, the first round is done. Let's click that because swirls are hard for me to keep track of. Put that there. Okay, and now let's get the second round started. So now we're going to do increases to get the size we want. And I make these hats one size fits all. They fit toddlers to adults. The ribbing is stretchy. And the yarn itself, it's acrylic, so it's got some natural stretch to it. Acrylic can be stretchy. Trying to crochet wisteria flowers. It's surprisingly going well. Good, that sounds pretty. I could never really get into those like plants people crochet. I don't like making things that have lots of tiny parts you have to put together. I say as I am, if you've seen previous lives, our previous videos of mine, we've been working on a giant granny square blanket for my brother for his wedding present later this year. Because he asked for one, not knowing that I don't like lots of little parts, but it's my brother, so we shall endure. And then these yarn cakes are starting to get a little flat, so we may have to pause and ball them up later. But right now, it's going well. I just use these stitch markers to keep the loops in place because chain and slip stitches and more chains. Look into that. It's not hard. I figure those kind of things, they aren't too difficult. They're deceptively easy. It looks like it would be hard, but then you do it and you're like, oh, that's easy. That's kind of like these swirls. Hardest part about these is not accidentally unraveling the whole thing. But it works out. And we're just about done with round 2, and I can start weaving in some ends. There we go. Right, round 2 is done. To prevent the yarn from tangling up too much, gotta twist. Okay, I'm gonna use my hook to weave these in. This is a trick I found on Instagram, actually, a while back, where you just use your hook to pull your ends through a bunch of stitches, and then you crochet over them, which really cuts down on time spent weaving in ends. So that's how I do it. And then I guess the friction keeps it in place. Wow, I've been live for a half hour already. Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, there we go. The camera doesn't really do these colors justice. They're very vibrant. I really enjoy them. Purple. There we go. Twist it back around. If you're enjoying this, double tap the screen to like the live. Hit the subscribe button, comment, chat, hang out. No, I already finished 2 rows. I did not finish another row. Whoops. That almost ended badly. All right, let's keep going. Round 3. Just put that there on my kneecap and hope I don't lose it. Oh, and if you really like these hats, I do have a website that Nightbot just linked in the chat where you can buy them. I don't have a pattern for them simply because I have no idea how I would even go about writing one. Because you have to keep so many loops active. Right, halfway there to the end of round 3. Almost done with this round. Right. Last color. And we will be done with this round. There. Okay. Twist it back around so it don't get tangled up. And there's how it looks so far. This will get more circular as it grows outward. It will get more circular. Right now it's kind of squeezed, but okay, let's continue weaving these little end bits in using my hook and then be done. Oh, and click the row counter. Cannot forget to do that. So how is everyone coping with the loss of Joanne? I'm sad. Joanne Fabrics was been my go-to since I started crocheting in the 90s, so sad face. Right, twist it back around. Right, on to round number 4. I did 12 in total for the crown of the hat. That's what the top part is called, the crown. Yeah, these yarn cakes are starting to collapse a little bit, so we'll have to turn them into yarn balls. And I'll have to order more. Must be after 7. I'm starting yawning. It is after 7. I was right. Go. Set the camera real quick for the vlog. Right. I need a tea drink. You know, it'd be funny if I made like bingo cards for my live. Or like some kind of game. Take a drink of water every time I yawn on live. Because that seems to happen a lot. Hi, Aaliyah. How you doing? Start to get unwieldy here. I'm good. I'm good. I mean, as good as I can be. Next week is parent-teacher conference week. So, I get to spend my week having meetings with parents. Oh, come on. It's a little early for this to be starting. Now that I'm thinking about it. Now that I suggested, hey, let's make a bingo card for my lives or a drinking game. Start yawning on live. That's the worst. Yeah, and it's hard, especially for the age group I work with. It's like, how do you have a parent-teacher conference about an infant if there's like nothing wrong? Like, yep, that's a baby. So I've got that all week coming up. Super fun. On top of a staff meeting and annual review stuff and the usual nonsense that comes with teaching. This yarn won't pull for some reason. Oh, and I have to go to the dentist next week. Hate the dentist. Come on, it's not even 7:30 yet. Yes, it is a whole lot of ends. I'm making swirly hats. And it's a whole lot of ends and a bunch of yarn stranded together at once. But they're pretty. The colors are vibrant. Filming a vlog where we see how many of these I can make in a day. I've made 3 so far. This is number 4. Like, it doesn't feel like they take a long time, but then I look up and I'm like, oh, I've been working on one hat for 2 hours. But that's because of all the ends and the strands and the counting and the moving of the stitch markers. But the results are really pretty. Like the camera, the lighting right now, it's not doing the colors justice. They're very vibrant, very pretty. Don't like those clouds rolling in that I can see out my window. Power blipped twice today. No, I'm not doing Kelsey's rainbow hat pattern. She does hers very differently, where she only has like one active stitch the whole time. And she carries the yarn through the back, whereas I actually have 6 separate loops active right now. And they all go into one magic circle. No, this one I learned, I've never done more than a 4-color swirl up until last year. And then I was like, let's try a 6-color swirl because, yeah. And what has 6 colors? The rainbow. So we did that. I think it was initially for Pride Month. I was making all the Pride flags out of swirls. And then I was using a rainbow variegated for the regular Pride flag. But then I thought, let's try 6. One day indigo will get its vengeance. Yes, I like indigo. Unfortunately, you have to use an even number for swirls. So another color would have had to go. But yeah, no. And plus, Kelsey's, hers is a bucket hat pattern, whereas mine's more of like, this is the style ribbing I use. So they're both gorgeous rainbows, completely different, all pretty. We need more rainbow colored things in the world. Rainbows are just very nice and vibrant and pretty. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It kind of is like a rainbow on a cloud. Just because I do 6 rounds for the ribbing, which it could have been all rainbow, but that would have been even more ends to weave in. And why make more unnecessary work for myself? Uh-oh, I can't remember where I was at. Okay, there I am. Yeah, why make more unnecessary work for myself? We're just going to do a plain white ribbing. Maybe someday I'll have the patience to do the ribbing in rainbow as well, but not today. Accidentally exited. Oops. It's alright. It happens. You know, come to think of it, I've actually never made a bucket hat. Cream hat with rainbow. Ooh. That's an idea. That just might become a thing. That's going to become a thing. Still a million ends to weave in at the end, but it would be a nice contrast. Yeah, that is definitely, yeah. Thanks for the idea, Leah. That's definitely going to be a thing. Next time I update my website with new products, which is going to be sometime in the next 2 weeks. I'm finally getting like my whole content creation process streamlined. To the point it's not taking as much out of me to be teaching and content creating at the same time. It's getting easier. It's still hard, but it's getting easier, and I finally figured out DaVinci Resolve. So I can actually work on more than one video at a time now, because I was previously using Adobe Express. And because of the file sizes, I could only work on like one long form video at a time. But now that I finally figured out how DaVinci Resolve works, all sorts of possibilities. Like, I'm actually ahead of schedule. Like, the vlog I'm filming for these hats isn't going to come out until like June, because I'm still keeping my every other week posting schedule for long form. But I already have a vlog filmed for next Saturday. That's the one where I'm making all those baskets. I'm filming one right now for these rainbow hats, which hit the row counter. And if I get this even more figured out, maybe I can finally start doing like tutorials and stuff. I like doing these how many in one day videos because it only takes one day to film. Whereas most of my vlogs are filmed over the course of several days. This is gonna be my my very first video, long form video on YouTube, was how many scrunchies I could make in a day. I filmed that one while I was on vacation for Thanksgiving. And I did that on a whim while I was on vacation. I was like, you know what? I want to start doing long form videos. Now here we are, doing live streams, posting vlogs, filming vlogs. I know how to work DaVinci Resolve now. Very steep learning curve, but I figured it out. Uh-oh. Stitch marker down. It's gone. It's gone. Good thing I have a cup full of stitch markers right here. Hello. Oh, that stitch marker is gone to the floor. It has been sacrificed to the floor. I am making a rainbow swirl hat like this. Yeah, one of them will find it. Probably Zuzu. She's the one that always finds my crochet stuff. Like, my couch likes to eat crochet hooks when I'm crocheting on my couch. And then Zuzu always digs them out and brings them back to me, carrying them in her little baby mouth. So, yeah, my couch has eaten so many crochet hooks, and it was always my F hook, my 3.75 millimeter. Which every time I lose a hook and it's just gone, it's always the 3.75 millimeter. To the point where I think 3.75 is the only one I don't own for Clover Amours, because I'm not spending $10 on a hook that the universe is going to take from me. I'll just use the generic unbranded 3.75 millimeters. Actually, do I even? Nope. Yeah, this is my 3.75 that I use when I need it, because, again, I'm not paying $10 for a hook my couch is going to eat and I'm never going to see again. It used to be my most used size. Now I think my most used size is either 5 or 6. But back in the day, I had really, really, really loose tension, which it's gotten better in recent years, because that was just a problem from the accident I was in 15 years ago. My tension went from like your average tension to super loose. So I used a 3.75 on everything just because that's how loose my tension was. Because I have very little strength in my fingers. It's come back after years of work, but no, it hasn't been my most used for a couple years, and yet it's the one that most often gets eaten by the couch still, or flies off into another dimension if I bump into the carrying container that I have it. So but tension is, it still runs really loose, but it's finally evening back out. Let's see, this got really twisted up, so let's twist it around. Whatever, screw it. It's fine. It's fine. They're all going to get snipped off at the end anyway, so. Okay. And we just hit the 1 hour mark. Yay! Right, next one. There we go. Yep, stitch marker wanted to eat my crochet hook. I don't like those clouds. And here's Zuzu. She's got her toy mouse on a stick that she drags around everywhere. So if you hear an absolute racket from the staircase right here, it's her. I think so. It's been storming on and off here all week. And my knee is bothering me. Which the town is just getting over some pretty severe damage from the last big storm we got a couple weeks ago. So like most people had no power for half a week. At my job, we had no internet for 3 days because we were running off a generator. And like my town's electric grid has gotten so fragile for some reason. Like one good gust of wind and the lights start flickering, and I'm like, why? Pay all this money for electricity and it doesn't work. I am making a rainbow swirl hat. With white ribbing. We're still working on the crown right now, so I've got all these strands of yarn going. Thank you. The camera doesn't do it justice. The colors are super vibrant. You know, Premiere did a good job with this dye lot. They're very saturated and bright and fun and colorful. Got real dark real quick. This is going to turn into a storm chasing live. You know, it's funny, I was listening to 90s Weather Channel music earlier. It's what I tend to listen to when I'm crocheting. There's this one video around on YouTube. It's just 8 hours of 90s vaporwave from the Weather Channel, local on the 8s. The sound of my childhood. Because I was super into meteorology when I was a kid. Because there was a tornado one night when I was about 2 or 3 years old. And, like, I actually took some college level meteorology courses when I was in high school, but math. No, I still haven't finished the granny square blanket, but it's coming along. It will be done in time. I am gonna have to go on another granny square making binge soon, but its progress is coming along very nicely, the way I want it to. Maybe another weekend I'll film a how many granny squares can I crochet in one day video. Traditional granny squares, not the Red Heart instant granny, all-in-one granny, whatever. I think it's a cool concept, the all-in-one yarns, but I can never get it to work for me just because my tension always runs so loose. Any of those like patterning yarns, I just don't bother trying anymore. But I like the instant granny square yarn, all-in-one granny square yarn. I treat it as like just another kind of variegated yarn, and it works up really cool if you don't use it for granny squares. I used it to make a linen stitch baby blanket once, and it turned out looking really cool. But yeah, I should make some more granny squares soon, both for the blanket and just because I have 2 granny square bags for sale on my website right now, and I want to make more because I really liked them, making them. Maybe when I restock on this rainbow yarn, I'll make rainbow granny squares. And then do something with those. I don't know, I'll figure it out. Row 8 is done. That means we've got 4 more rows of rainbow to make. And then we'll move on to the brim. Excuse me. Making good time on this one. I know these rainbow hats I make, they're pretty popular with kids because they're so vibrant and colorful. I actually have a funny story about one of the first ones I made. It's the hat pattern. It's mine. It's a basic, hold on one second. It's a basic swirl pattern. And then I just thought, let's try it with 6 colors and make it a rainbow, and then just keep going around in a circle and see if it'll become a hat. So, yeah, you can learn how to, there's a tutorial by Play Hooky with me on how to do these swirls, or at least the basic concept behind them. But I turned them into hats. And I wouldn't even know how to go about writing the pattern for this, so maybe I'll film a tutorial for this specific hat someday. Because I know Passionate Kelsey has a rainbow swirl bucket hat pattern, but this is completely different. Because she runs the strands through the hat, and it's done in a standard circle, whereas this is spiral. And it has several active loops. Hi, Zuzu. Zuzu is walking by. But kids like these bright swirly hats I make. And I was at a craft show in New York last summer, and a little girl in a wheelchair rolled up to my booth and saw this rainbow hat, and she wanted it. But and I had several in stock, but I had only put one out. And this was a show in a small town where everybody uses cash. I think I only took two credit cards the entire show. This is in a very small town. Like, if the reality show Cops wanted to film an episode there, they would have to label it Cop. Because it's just one guy. Anyway, so the mom saw the price tag. These are $30. Just because of the amount of work I have to put into them and the amount of yarn. And she was like, honey, I don't have $30 cash on me right now. I'd have to run across the street to go home and get it. And so the girl parked her wheelchair right in front of the hat. I was like, go get it, Mom. So Mom was like, okay, and she went and got it. And this girl just sat there in her wheelchair parked in front of this hat until her mom came back. Because she didn't want anybody else to get the hat. Even though I had like 5 of them under the table. I only put the one out because of space constraint. And her mom came back, gave me the $30, and she was so excited. It was a hot day, but she was still all over the place the rest of the show wearing the hat. So she was determined to get her hands on this hat. So house across the street, yes. Well, the way the town itself is set up, because it's a tiny town in rural New York, and the town, it's literally a square. Like, there's the big central park, and then down one row of the street, there's houses. No, there's businesses down one row of the street. Then there's a gas station, and then there's just houses spreading out from the rest of the block. And then there's a school. So everybody just walked to this show because it's a pretty walkable little town. And yeah, it was. Yeah, people were running home, dropping their stuff off, and then coming back. Which is funny because for such a small town market, you'd think with. I didn't even fill out an application the first time I went. I was eating at the diner there. And the lady came up to me and handed me a piece of paper and was like, "Bring your stuff to this." And I was like, I was just getting into market, so I was like, well, okay. She's like, just come set up on this date. Just bring a tent and set up. So I brought a tent, I set up, and that day I made over $1,000. Cash. So then last year I went to the same diner and I was like, is the market lady here? And she was like, yeah. And I said, hey, can I come again? And she was like, yeah. And so I came again. I did it again last year and didn't do as well, but that's because I didn't have any amigurumi plushies out because I did the market with a friend the first time who does the plushies. But then I soloed it last year and I don't do amigurumi, I don't do plushies. I do know how to make amigurumi, because I have very little feeling in my hand, I have to rely on stitch definition and seeing the stitches. So I can't use blanket yarn and single crochets and stuff like that. I have a very hard time with it. So I can do like super traditional amigurumi with yarn like this. But plushies and I don't get along. I make funny hats instead. Lots of swirly hats and stuff. I don't even own any chenille yarn. I gave it all away. I think the only chenille yarn I have is some of the parfait chunky fruits that Premier gave me as a gift back in I can't remember exactly when. It was sometime last year. They released parfait chunky fruits, and they gave me a box with 2 of them to try. And they were nice. I really liked them. I think those are the only ones I kept because I ended up making stuff for my mom out of it. But all my old like Bernat blanket and stuff that I used to have when I first tried making plushies back in like high school, which was 15 years ago. I ended up giving that all away because I just struggled with it so much after the accident when I couldn't feel anything anymore. So I gave all of that away. So, yeah. I couldn't make plushies now even if I wanted to because I don't have any blanket yarn. Making good progress here on this hat. I haven't done any markets yet this year because I've been so focused on YouTube and getting my brother's blanket ready. Like all the energy I used to put into doing markets is now going towards getting ready for my brother's wedding. So I don't think I might do that one in New York again, but that's not till like August or September. And then I did a Christmas market last year that went really well. That I'll probably do that one again, but this is just not the year for markets for me because I just have so much going on in my personal life and my work life, and I'm trying to do YouTube. So probably take the year off from markets in my area. And plus a lot of the markets in my area, it's just become so oversaturated with crocheters. And a lot of the event coordinators, at least for some of the ones I do, would prefer letting multiple people and new people in so that everybody gets a turn instead of returning vendors. So that there were some last year that I applied to as a returning vendor, but they were like, no, we're going to give new people a turn this year. Try next year. Which, Leah, I know something like that would get Sarah really fired up, wouldn't it? Also, yes, there's my ace flag in the background. Yeah, Christmas markets. I always do better at Christmas markets than I do at other times a year. Like, no one really wants to buy. My thing is like hats. I make a lot of fun hats. Would I can imagine. Yeah, maybe I'll bring it up next live stream and be like, hey, what is your opinion on this nonsense? As a professional craft show person, because for me it's not a problem because this isn't my full-time job. This is my side hustle right now. Like, I have a day job, so if I don't get into a market because they want to give a new person a chance, it's not a significant potential loss of income. Whereas if it were my job, I probably would get mad, but I got the rejection. They're like, no, we want to give new crocheters a chance. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll just go back to my day job. which my day job was excited about because they were like, oh, we don't have to find a substitute for that day. Because, yes, I will. I have taken off work to go do a craft show in the area instead, but I had the PTO for it, so. I always do better at my like fall and winter markets than my spring and summer ones, just because my thing is hats, and nobody wants a hat in the middle of July when it's 1,000,000 degrees out. Meanwhile, I made bank off of hats at my Christmas market last year because it was so cold. I think that was my second vlog ever. I had a shot of me sitting there. I had 4 pairs of pants on, my big parka, bunch of blankets, and I was still sitting there huddled up next to my little propane heater. And there were people coming in just buying hats to warm up because it was so cold. And my dad was huffing and puffing because he's my unpaid labor for these things. When my best friend isn't allowed to do the markets with me, because we usually do them together. But some markets obviously don't allow you to double up. And this was one of them where you weren't allowed to double up. So my dad filled in her role of helping me out. And he was cold and grumbling the whole time. I think I made a TikTok of him. Yeah, I did. It's one of my most viewed videos on my channel. Is my dad helping me tear down and then turning and staring into the camera and then putting things in the bucket while the background voice says this is what $0 an hour looks like. In the future, I should make a follow-up to that of my dad moderating chat, because he is one of my dad is one of my moderators. So yeah, don't act a fool in chat, because my father is the moderator. Should probably film a clip for the vlog. It is just a little bit after 8 o'clock. Woohoo! Right, we got one round of rainbow left to go. And then we'll have the ribbing. Seeing myself on 2 screens at once is too weird. I'm still learning how to get comfortable in front of a camera and using my normal voice, because yeah, I can talk in front of a crowd of children because I am a teacher. And I really don't think you guys would want me to be using my teacher voice. That would get annoying really quick because we're all adults here. Maybe someday I'll film a vlog in my teacher voice just for the heck of it. Hello, welcome back. Is that something people would be interested in? A vlog or a live done entirely in my teacher voice? Yes? Okay, well, we'll add it to the list. I warned y'all. Teacher Gracie and YouTube Gracie are 2 very different people. I work with infants and toddlers as my day job, so I don't sound like this normally. Like, this is how I would talk to a grown-up. Whereas with the little ones, I kind of talk a lot more excited, a lot more fun, you know, motivated. Getting you all excited. Good job. I'm so proud of you. You're doing so great. Can you show me? I mean, when I worked with older kids, my teacher voice was a lot better, but since I work with younger kids, yeah. But you know, Miss Rachel, I kind of sound like that on my day-to-day life. I really enunciate my words so the babies can learn how to move their mouths in the right way. Yeah. It's a pretty jarring difference. I know I've run into families outside of work and they hear my regular voice and they're like, oh. Like, yeah, it's not always happy, happy, joy, joy. And the up and the down, it's very flat affect outside of work. But you have to talk like that with little kids. Yeah, yeah. And they're like, who are you? And what have you done with Miss Gracie? I'm like, this is clocked out Miss Gracie. She is a very different person. Whereas clocked in Miss Gracie is super fun and super exciting. And I just love to play with the babies. And I love teaching them little things. And then I clock out and flat affect is back. It's kind of great though, because it really helps with my work-life balance. I don't sound the same in the different places, so I'm able to remove myself from being a teacher when I'm out of the building, which has saved me from getting burnt out at this point because I'm going into my 8th year of teaching. And yeah, I don't bring work home with me. That's how I maintain my work-life balance. If it doesn't get done at school, it's not coming home with me. Just to protect my own sanity. Yeah, we could do a vlog in my teacher voice. Do a vlog for babies. Kind of like one of those sensory videos. And I mean, I do know some of the families watch my videos. Made a mistake. I forgot to. You have to go back. I forgot to do the decreases. Oops. Happens sometimes. Oh well. Oh well. Everybody makes mistakes. Y'all got me talking in my teacher voice on a Saturday. But yeah. That's my life. Teacher by day. Crochet content creator by every other time of the day. It's not the end of the world that we forgot to. New to your channel, what are you working on? I am making these rainbow swirly hats. Yeah, ripping out the stitches. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Totally fine. Oh, it's just one row, so it's not like I have to rip the whole thing back. It's just one row. It's just one row. But it's okay because it's the last row of rainbow, so. Make a turtle nose and too impatient to buy more yarn. Yeah. We've all been there. And wait, chat, no, come back, chat, no. How do I make chat come back? Plus sized grandma making a daisy cardigan. That sounds fun. We'll see. Right, there we go. Now it's time to start disconnecting it from the skein. Fastening off. Red is done. No, it's all tangled next to me. No. No. Okay. Start putting these stitch markers back in the little cup. Now when you're done with these swirls, to start the swirls, you got to start single crochet, half double crochet, and then you work up to double crochet. So now we're working our way back down so that the swirl doesn't end abruptly. It tapers down. This is the part where if I get distracted, half double crochet. So instead of pulling up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, you start as if you're going to do a double crochet, but halfway through you pull through all the loops instead. I'll show you when I get to the next one. So here's double. You yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now if you want to do a half double, you yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, but instead of pull through 2, you pull through all 3. So there's how you do it. And then single. And then slip stitch. And then fasten off. I know in UK terminology it's called a half triple, half treble. I don't know why they use different terminology. Yeah. So if I'm like posting an explanation short about certain kinds of stitches, I try to put both UK and US terminology in, but I'm sorry, I'm from Pennsylvania. USA, USA. One of the weirdest states in the Union. Two cities that hate each other, and then Alabama in the middle. There's a fuzzy. Surprised not a single cat has bust their way through to be on camera yet. Well, Zuzu was just walking around here. Rocky and Guinness are hiding because they don't like it when it's dark and about to rain. They're little baby cowards. They don't like the weather. You love cats? Me too. I have 3. Sometimes they appear on live, but not right now. Maybe they'll come later. I don't have any plans of getting off anytime soon. It's about 8:30. I'll probably stay on for another half hour, 45 minutes. Actually made some tea with caffeine in it to see if I can avoid dozing off on live again. Foster fail that I still want to return a little bit. Guinness was a shelter cat because I was I had to have a certain number of volunteer hours when I was in high school. I went to a didn't go to public school for high school, but it wasn't like private school, but it also wasn't charter school, but it also wasn't alternative school, but it also wasn't public school. It was its own thing, and we were required to have a certain amount of volunteer hours every semester. So I started volunteering at a local animal shelter. And one day I opened up a cage to clean it, and a little black kitten came out and crawled up my arm. And that was my Guinness, who is going to be 15 in August. Vlog clip. No, I don't want slow-mo. I want video, you stupid. I hate technology sometimes. The crown of the fourth hat is done. And yes, I'm millennial pause. Don't judge me. I edited it out. I'm old. You were in Girl Scouts, so you submitted those. Yeah. I didn't do any kind of scouting. I went from being one of those overscheduled kids to by middle school, I was just. I used to do ballet, acting classes, violin, piano, art classes. And then by middle school, I was like, I don't want to do things anymore. But I got my volunteer hours in through the animal shelter. And my school had sponsored events for kids during the school day if they like had jobs or something and they couldn't do volunteer hours in their free time, and I always signed up for those to get out of class. So if you went to the events, you would get your volunteer hours. Resentment is deep. Yeah. I still wake up sometimes thinking, oh my God, I haven't got my volunteer hours in for the semester. They're going to kick me out. Because if you didn't get your volunteer hours done, you were asked to explore other education alternatives. And like, I still, getting near June, I still wake up and I'm like, oh my God, my volunteer hours. And then I'm like, wait, I'm old. I have been out of school longer than I was in. I'm a teacher now. I have had those moments of panic too, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I overslept. I missed the bus. Wait, I'm an adult. Wait, I'm the teacher. But yeah. No, what really throws me for a loop though is one of my old high school teachers' kid goes to the school I teach at now. So it's like, hey, it's me, the disruptive one, because I was a little bit disruptive in school. I had a hard time sitting still. Like, I tested really well and I got really good grades, but I was also a jerk the whole time. Good night. I'm glad you enjoyed the live. And yeah, I did not do well in school. I had a hard time. which is why I went to this specialized high school, because it was more for people like me that like needed a non-traditional environment to do well. And it worked. I did really well there. I just was a bit of a problem child. But I got good grades and I did all my volunteer hours, so towards my senior year, they just let me do what I wanted. I went to war with the gym teacher because the gym teacher my first 3 years of high school was a super chill guy that was like, just show up and I'll pass you. And then he retired. And we got this new, fresh-faced first-year teacher for gym class my senior year. And he was determined to make each and every one of us love gym class. I ruined that man. Like, even our principal was like, stop trying to get Gracie to like gym class. You're not going to survive. It is your first year teaching. You are not going to get her to like gym class. Don't even try. And he was still determined to get me to love gym class, and he did not succeed. Hello, welcome to the live. And now my divine punishment for that is that I am now a teacher. So if you're watching this, dude, no, I'm not bald. I cover my hair for religious purposes. I had some trauma relating to gym class because the accident that damaged my hand so badly happened during middle school gym class. I had a really bad fall and slid down an asphalt path from the top of a really tall hill to the bottom, and I was completely degloved. Don't Google that. Don't do it. You will throw up. Basically all the skin on my hand. So not only did I just not want to be there, I had actual like trauma. So when I went into high school, the old gym teacher was informed about that, so he never made me do anything. He came up with like alternatives because he knew I had that trauma. And then this new teacher first year teacher came along, and the principal told him, hey, she's got that trauma, just don't. Just don't. And he was like, oh, we'll work through this together and heal you psychologically. Again, I broke that man. Yeah, he was like, oh, one of those young, fresh-faced, I can fix it attitudes. And yeah, it was. I won that war of attrition. Like, even the principal was saying, just leave her alone. Don't. You can't make somebody love gym class. Just teach what you're supposed to teach. Do your job. And he would try all these ways to get me to love gym class and make it seem exciting for me. And I'm like, I'm only here because I'm legally required to be here. But it doesn't matter anymore because that was a long time ago. And I never had to take another gym class again. Rocked my first grade teacher's world, though. Yeah. Yeah, I was a good teaching material for first year teachers, as the principal and the guidance counselor said to me when I was in school. A lot of them came into it like, oh, with enough passion, I could get even the toughest, I can crack even the toughest kid. And I was a very good reality check. On how to actually deal with people like that, with kids like that, which is overwhelmingly just leave them alone. Don't try to make them love school. You got to find another way to connect with them. But yeah, so now my old high school teacher's daughter attends the school I teach at. And I remember when she started and we saw each other in the hallway, and I was like, what's up? Not have to use the bathroom after. Oh my lord, why? As a teacher, I can understand, because a lot of kids will abuse going to the bathroom as another break. And then there's like paper towels shoved in places God never meant paper towels meant to be, but you can tell when they actually have to go. And yeah. I was the kid that I wouldn't even ask. I would just get up and leave to go to the bathroom. And just be like, bye. And then when I turned 18, I would just sign myself out of school. Accept me. Oh my gosh. What a jerk. It's terrible. And like when you're getting to the point as a teacher when you're like being mean to the kids, you're burnt out, you got to figure that out. Switch to a different age group. Like I used to work with older children and I had a hard time with it later on, so now I work with babies. Babies and toddlers. Like there's a lot of steps you can take before being a jerk to the children. This is snoring away. I mean, there could have been a reasoning behind that. Like, the literature now is that if a kid is falling asleep in class, older kids, mine obviously nap. But even though the oldest I work with now is 18 months, they still make me take all the trainings for the older kids. And the current consensus is to let them sleep. Because if they're falling asleep in a classroom, which can be a very, very stimulating environment, they usually really need it. Like, there were times when I was growing up that I fell asleep in the middle of class, but it turns out it's because I was between medications. So, but you don't just let them sleep in class. You let them sleep in class, and then you like go to the guidance counselor and try to figure something out. Like, is this kid sick? What's their home life like? But I mean, if they're snoring so loud that they're being disruptive and they fall asleep in class, you need to wake them up, because that's also can be a sign of a medical problem. And if they're really asleep, tired, send them to the nurse to go to sleep. Take a nap. Yeah, there's always steps you can take for something. Yeah. I know my brother had a terrible first grade teacher that if he didn't finish his classwork, she'd make him stay inside for recess to finish the work. But then he would just be working on his stuff, and he would get so anxious about not being done and missing recess, and he'd get so upset about potentially missing recess that he wouldn't finish his work, and he'd end up missing recess, which would just make him more and more upset. And that was bad. He'd get stuck in that anxiety spiral. It's one of those situations where you got to think critically before jumping to the There's no one size fits all. Blanket policies don't work. Everything really needs to be done case by case, because we as humans are all unique and special. And going off into my teacher tangent again. On a Saturday, when I should be relaxing or, well, doing my YouTube thing, but no. Now I'm off on a tangent. Right, we're working on the bottom ribbing, and then we'll be done with been around all kinds of kids. I mean, yeah, some kids are just rotten. But yeah. What grade did your mom teach, Aaliyah? I think you told me once, but I can't remember. Started high school and went to elementary. K-8 library. Ooh. Ooh. That's a big range and library. You know, the library teachers were always my favorite growing up. Loved going to the library. I always bonded really strongly to my library teachers when I was a kid. That's a good one. Can't imagine it's easy right now in this current day and age. All the books for free, yup. Free books are good. Free access to books. It's the number one thing. I should really go to my local library again sometime. The problem is it's just in such a really inconvenient location. And it's always so crowded and hard to get to. Support your libraries, people. I went to the library a lot in high school because I didn't ride the school bus to and from school. I rode public transportation. But there was like a half hour between when school let out and the bus to my neighborhood would come. So I would go hang out at the library until the bus came, and then I'd go home. It was always nice, quiet, climate controlled books. But yeah, living it up. Any book you wanted, that's fun, yeah. Yeah, I would devour books when I was a kid. I loved young adult, dystopian, science fiction, fantasy. Front post, back post. Yes, that is what I'm doing for the ribbing right now. I'm going to do, I did one round of plain white double crochets. I'm going to do about 4 rounds total of front post, back post. And then to finish the hat off, I will do 1 round of single crochet. And then we will be done, but then we'll probably start another one. Because I had just enough caffeine to keep me going. And the vlog I'm filming, I really want to say I was able to make more than 4 hats in one day. So, I mean, normally, well, my regular hats I make, I can bang out way more than 4 in a day, but that's because they're all just like one color, give or take, bottom ribbing. Whereas with this one, I am running 6 strands of yarn at once. So, let's see, 13, 14, 15. So we're going to do 2 more rounds of front post, back post. And then we will do a round of single crochet. And it seems the stormy weather has passed. Woohoo. The lights were flickering a bunch of times earlier today. It was really annoying. I was like, please do not make me get out and get my generator twice in a 1 month span of time. Because it's just, no thank you. And it was also flickering just before I went live, so I was like, no. I'm not doing a live in the dark. Because I have my router hooked up to a battery backup that has about 2 hours worth of charge, so if the power in my house went out, I would still have internet for at least 2 hours. I was like, I'm not doing a live in the dark. Even though that would probably be a fun gimmick, I would want it to be a planned fun gimmick, not an unplanned live in the dark. Speaking of which, I don't know if I'm going to go live at all next week. Because I'm busy next Saturday night. Busy most of Saturday anyway. And then I'm busy Friday night, so I can't go live Friday night. And Thursday night, I don't want to go live just because that would conflict with Crochet Visions live, which I want to watch. And I don't really feel like doing liveception, so I don't know, we'll figure it out. Plus, it's parent-teacher conference week. And I might just be too peopled out. To manage a live stream, so we shall see. Good morning. Notification on my phone. It is almost 9 o'clock. Hi, Rocky. You're Rocky? Yes, you're Rocky. Fluffy tail. Rocky and Zuzu are almost identical, but Rocky has a big fluffy tail and Zuzu has a long skinny tail. Rocky, come pay the cat tax. Your adoring public would like to see you. What are you digging? Psst, what are you digging? 1 second. Hey, what are you chewing on? Oh, it's just a bug. Okay, good, Rocky. Come on. Oh, it's another. He's eating bugs. We'll see him soon. He found a bug. He's now torturing it. It's protein. Rocky. Okay, that's not a bug. What are you chewing? I will be right back. He's chewing on something and he shouldn't be. Rocky, what are you chewing on? What are you chewing on? Don't act all cute. Don't act all cute. You're chewing. It's plastic, Rocky. Oh, I love you. Yes. Come here. Oh, come sit with me. Come sit with me. Here he is. Here's the rock. Really? You were all over me earlier. Just come here and love me. Well, at least he's not chewing on plastic or eating bugs now. He said, I'm out of here. Yeah, he did. It's because I took the plastic he was chewing on away from him, so he's gonna give me the cold shoulder. It's alright. I will be loved later because I went to the pet store today and I got them a treat for later tonight. They were having a sale on food topping gravies, like little gravy pouches you can squirt on top of their food. So I got them some of that as a little special treat to have every once in a while. One more round of front post, back post. Yep, he's going over to his cat tree. And he's going into the scrap basket. He doesn't play with my yarn. He just likes to lay on top of my scrap yarn. I'm like, dude, that's the future product that you want to contaminate here. Stinker. He's my sweet baby boy, though. We've been live for almost 2.5 hours. Wow. So it took me about, it's taken me about an hour and a half for each of these hats today. I don't know. I mean, I'm not at the point where I'm nodding off yet, so I could probably get one more hat done tonight. Or at least the crown. If you chew that piece of plastic again, Rocky. Rocky. This boy. I will be right back. Again. Give me that plastic. Give me that plastic. Stinker. Here's a toy. Chew that instead. Okay. Okay. All fixed. Threw it out. Yup. Mine don't play with it. They leave my main skeins alone. I keep them up high, out of reach of them. Just because I do sell all my makes, which I thoroughly clean before selling them, mailing them out. But my scrap yarn, they just lay on it. I've only ever had one cat that actually played with my yarn. Welcome back. Only had one cat in my life that ever actually played with my yarn. You have a question? What is it? Do you believe in God? Duh. Now, let's not get too weirdly religious here. I am Eastern Orthodox Christian, and we're going to leave it at that. It's okay. You didn't know. Just some people get really weird in chat about religion. So I don't go into it too much. Same reason I'm like no ages in chat. Because you wouldn't be weird, but someone else might be. Or there may be weirdos watching. You just never know with people these days. But yeah. So I try to not get too real. I try not to talk religion. I try to get not too political on live. Sometimes it happens, but all right, we are on the last round of this hat, and it will be done. Here's Zuzu. Excuse me, hiccups. One of them is eating her food. Yeah, because this blanket hanging up here hides my kitchen. Yeah, my house has a weird layout. And drum roll, please. Set up the vlog cam real quick. number 4 is done. Hat number 4 is done. Vlog cam. There's hat number. Oh, we hit the 2.5 hour mark. Thank you. This is good tea. Yes, the bright colors are really good. I'm using Premier Basics for these hats. And Premier Basics has really good vibrant colors. And it's really good, soft. It's just, I wouldn't, it's a little thick for a 4-weight. I put it at more like a 4.25 if that were ever a thing. I hear Rocky. He's got his toy upstairs. All right. That took about an hour and a half. Vlog cam time. It's getting a little late, but I'm not that tired, and I'm still live. So let's start number 5, since we met our goal of 4 at least in one day, and see if we can get it done before I fall asleep in my chair. All right, vlog cam off. Got 2 cameras looking at me. I'm going to turn that one off. Well, it's not really a camera. I film all my vlogs on my phone for easier editing purposes. All right, we are starting another one. It's 2.5 hour mark, but I've still got some energy. Not quite nodding off, and it's a weekend, so I mean, if y'all will hang out with me, I will stay live until we finish this hat, if I don't conk out in my chair, a la the one vlog I did a couple months ago when I was making a sweater for my mom and I kept falling asleep on camera. And I thought it was funny, so I kept that footage and put it in the vlog. I don't know. My vlogs aren't getting lots and lots of views yet, so I thought it was funny. I mean, I know Crochet Vision. She can be live for like 10 hours at a time once. I remember once I was watching one of her knitting machine lives and I fell asleep with the live still going, and I woke up and the live was still going. And I was like, wow, that is dedication. I'm tired just looking at that 10-hour timer. So, but we shall keep going. I think the longest I've gone is 3 hours. But that's just attention span wise sometimes too, my attention span, but in the groove during those lives, yeah, I was like thinking, oh my gosh, 10 hours on camera straight. But I mean, it's the knitting machine lives. Those can get a lot done during those. I liked falling asleep to the knitting machine lives because I liked watching the colors spinning around. It would help calm my brain. But I popped up and I was like, oh my gosh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're still alive. I gotta be at work soon and you're still alive. I don't know how she does it. I mean, I regularly used to pull all-nighters, and then I became a teacher and was forced into becoming an early bird. Knock out a lot of trolls during those lives, yeah. I always get so confused about people hating on knitting machines. I'm like, it's just another craft. Like, why does it matter? You're not taking away from anything by using a centro or whatever and a drill. Like, knitting machines, they're their own special kind of craft. And we shouldn't hate on people that use them because, you know, I can't for the life of me figure a knitting machine out. I have one. I can't figure it out. I have an old one from like the early 2000s. Ugh, kids on the internet. Yeah. Why is it always the children, and why are the children on live at 3 a.m.? Like, shouldn't you be in bed? Oops. Pulled that one a little too tight before I meant to. The amount of, like, I had a 9-year-old in my chat once. They were telling me they were 9, and I'm like, don't, you're not even double digits yet. You. Block now and think about it later. Yeah. Still, it's like, why is a 9-year-old on YouTube? Why is a 9-year-old in a chat room on YouTube? We need to bring back Club Penguin, guys. We need a place. These kids need a place. That's just it. We need to bring back Club Penguin. And yes, I know there's the private servers, but those are for like people my age seeking out that nostalgia factor. I know. No, well, I mean, we need it back in like an official capacity because these private servers are more, yeah. The people going on these private servers are like my age, trying to relive childhood. They're not for children. We need something like that, but specifically for children back. Kids should not be on TikTok. Or like Toontown. That was my jam as a kid. And yes, there's a Toontown private server, but again, it's mostly adults now. We need dedicated kid spaces. And then maybe they won't be invading the chat being weird and inappropriate. They'll have their own little corner of the internet to go to. Yeah. And I mean, nowadays, being on YouTube, that's like an actual career to aspire to. But it's like, no, it's like wanting to be a movie star or on TV or an actor or an actress. But at least being an actor or actress, there's like child labor laws and regulations. Nothing like that for YouTube. Nobody's watching her continuously. Yeah. You see everybody else on YouTube talking about, oh, hey, you can do this too, and they want to do that. There's just nothing on the internet for kids anymore. There's no more Flash games. Can't even play Farmville on Facebook anymore. Farmville was my jam in middle school. Yeah, there used to be. Now, if there are places, heyday girl, I played a lot of Club Penguin, a lot of Toontown, Wizards 101 for a long time. Though that was more my brother's jam. And then Farmville, Cafe World, Yoville. God, Yoville. I would spend hours playing those Flash games. Pixie Hollow. Neopets was one of my big ones. And even DeviantArt. Who was all over the forums on DeviantArt. Right, second row is done. Webkins, oh, Webkins. Webkins is still around from what I heard, but it's full of like microtransactions. I still have all of my stuffed Webkins. I was mostly into that for the. I remember too, Webkins. They had like, you could do like pre-selected messaging chat, but they also had regular typing chat in one specific area, but it closed at 5 o'clock. And you couldn't chat anymore. Guess that's when all the moderators went home. still have all my Webkins. I loved them. I wanted to collect every single one of the cats. Neopets. I was super into Neopets. I'm feeling nostalgic at night again. Notifications from what I posted on Red Note today are rolling in. It's morning time there. Even though TikTok is pretty much here to stay, I still stick around on Red Note. Speaking of which, I should text my father real quick and let him know I'm still alive. Right. Where are we on row 2? Oops. Forgot to move that stitch marker. Yeah, I'm starting to get tired. I'm starting to forget to move my stitch markers. But it's okay. I wonder if I'd get copyright claimed on live if I played some Vaporwave. You're still here? Appreciate that, Aaliyah. I'm mostly just vibing here. I don't know. I think I'm getting better at this being live thing and talking to the camera. I'm trying my best. I think at one point I had 21 viewers, which is the most I've had at once at this point. I think because I'm still under 1,000 subscribers, the algorithm limits how much my live gets pushed out. I think I read that when I first started going live, that until you have 1,000 subscribers, they limit the amount of views you can get for live stream. or they limit the amount of people it pushes out to. Probably to avoid spam, but algorithms. Why must my life be dictated by algorithms? Algorithms and AI. No, thank you. I'm getting kind of groggy, so I think what we're gonna do is finish the increase rounds and then call it a night, because we're almost at the 3-hour point, and I don't have anywhere to be tomorrow. I ran all my errands today, but I don't want to hate myself completely in the morning. So we will finish the increase rounds and then call it a night. So that's finish this round, and then that's about 2 more rounds, plus weaving in some ends. And so we'll have made 4.5 hats, rainbow swirl hats today. Which I think is a respectable number. I mean, if I sat in this spot and didn't move and only crocheted, I probably would have been able to make more. But unfortunately, I had to do other things today. I couldn't just sit and crochet for 12 hours or 16 hours or whatever. I know Passionate Kelsey, when she does these how many in a day thing, she does it in a 12-hour block. I just do it from when I get up to when I go to bed, which is usually like 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. I had to go run errands today. I went to the pet store and the grocery store, and they only had like 2 people in the entire store working at the Aldi, and I felt so bad for them. And then I did dishes and laundry, and I made biscuits for breakfast this morning, and I had them with some strawberry jam, and it was delicious. And I made dinner. I cooked twice today. Normally I only do like one or the other. Like I'll cook something for breakfast and then have like sandwiches for dinner. Or I'll have Pop-Tarts for breakfast and cook something more substantial for dinner. But today I cooked twice. Made biscuits with jam this morning, and then I made goat cheese pasta this evening with spinach and tomatoes. It was very good, and there are leftovers that I can have for lunch tomorrow. And then I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for dinner tomorrow night. Something simple, probably, because it's a Sunday night and I have to get ready for work. Because it's parent teacher conference season. I'm gonna have like meetings all week. But tomorrow is going to be a video editing day. And a planning day, because now that I know how DaVinci Resolve works, I can work on editing more than one video at once. So there may be some tweaks coming to my posting schedule. I'm still going to keep going with the vlog every other Saturday. But I may post like long form content under separate categories instead of every other Saturday. Like the vlogs will be strictly vlogs, and then I'll have these challenge videos as their own thing. Tutorials, unboxings. I did get a box from Hirschner's today, so I can film a yarn haul or something. I don't know. I'm actually starting to figure this whole content creator thing out. I don't think I'll ever be able to post like multiple long form videos a week consistently, but actually, I did have an idea earlier today. I'm thinking of doing Vlogmas this year, but filming it really far in advance, each video really far in advance, and then doing a bunch of Christmas themed videos all releasing throughout December, even though I'd film one in like July. Because, I mean, technically you don't have to film and release a video all in the same day for Vlogmas. You can do what you want, right? Wait, I did not do a row. I don't know. Do know that little progress bar they show you in YouTube Studio up until showing how close you are to being able to monetize, it's creeping closer and closer every day. definitely want to film a tutorial for this hat. These rainbow swirl hats. I definitely want to do a tutorial for my beanie pattern. I definitely want to actually write and publish and sell my beanie pattern. Because, I mean, the money is in patterns, not just finished objects. And I mean, I do have a degree in writing. One video idea I had is ranking like my top 5 100% acrylic budget yarns. Though that might get me canceled because my number one favorite acrylic yarn of all time, hands down, is Red Heart Super Saver. And for some reason, that's a controversial opinion. Right, we're past the 3-hour mark. This is officially the longest live I've ever done. Woo! Woohoo! New milestone unlocked. Right. All right. One more round, and then we'll call it a night. Because I still gotta film a little bit for my vlog and then tear my low budget live setup down. Because I'm literally filming on my tablet, which is propped up on a folding tray table, propped up by like several objects. I finally got a ring light though. Wait, no, I didn't want to increase there. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this round and then I'm jumping off and going to bed. Gracie's tired. We made it 3 hours. I'd say that's a successful live. All right. 4 colors left, and then we're done for the night. Final brain cell. Da, 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 da. All right, 3 colors left. And then we're done. Oh, oh goodness. Oh, good heavens. 2 colors left, and then we're going to bed. And we're done for the night. So we made 2.5 hats on live. Well, we finished 1 hat that I had already started. We started and finished another hat, and we're halfway through another hat. So that is all for tonight. Thank you for joining me on live, or the VOD if you're watching, whatever it's called, the whatever posts after I'm done, whatever that's called. Thank you for watching. You can buy these hats if you would like one on my website, smallpinecrafts.square.site, linked below in the description and through chat with Nightbot. Good night, everybody. Please like, subscribe, comment, follow, hit the bell icon so you can be notified every time I post. And I will see you all next time. Good night. And we're done. turn off. Okay, yes, I would like to stop streaming. Good night, everybody.